Luca, which begins streaming Friday on Disney+, is an extraordinarily pleasant children's film about the little mer-boy of the title, voiced by Jacob Tremblay, who wants to learn about the world on dry land and parts beyond and the denizens of the above-water Italian town of Portorosso, which he visits, against his parents' wishes, to expand his horizons. The landlubbers, of course, are terrified of the monsters in the sea and vice versa, and the sea people lose their tails and scales when they emerge into the open air, making them look completely human to anyone on land. But get dry sea creatures wet and they revert to monster form, a bit of borrowed mermaid lore that sets up the main drama of the film. This, then, is a movie about the politics of difference, and one of the more contemplative efforts from Pixar. It's hemmed in a bit by director Enrico Casarosa's Pixar-ish insistence on a big, climactic showdown between our heroes and the bully who makes them miserable, but the real, and far more interesting, conflict is between Luca and his friend Alberto, a fellow sea dweller who is braver than Luca but also more emotionally fragile. But it is most remarkable for how it takes the tropes of so many classic tales of horror and the unknown and flips them on their ear. Take the early 20th century horror writer H.P. Lovecraft's influential novella, The Shadow Over Innsmouth, which is also about the fish creatures that live near a seaside town and the town's strange relationship to them. But in that story, suspense and horror build over the growing realizations about the suspiciously fish-ish locals, which is a source of growing discomfort and then absolute terror in the town and for the reader. This is perhaps a good place to note that Lovecraft initially admired Hitler and was always terrified of black people. It was horrifying to him that his real-world neighbors might not be as pure as they seemed. It's also difficult to overstate the cultural reach of Innsmouth. It's the beginning of his Cthulhu stories and the direct basis of 3 feature films and half a dozen video games, as well as the inspiration for a lot of horror literature that challenges Lovecraft's own prejudices using his tropes, such as Victor LaValle's The Ballad of Black Tom. In Luca, though, we get to see the same fishy differences as cute and friendly, when it's revealed that some characters we thought were human for the length of the film have actually been fish persons all along. It's just a nice surprise. Luca isn't specifically about racial difference, though, or openly about queer identity, though critics have noted that it works well as a queer allegory.